we're almost through the first round of the CBA playoffs, with 3 of the 4 series wrapping up this week. Now we begin in Beijing here with action from Game 3, with the Ducks up 2-0 in the series and not much changed in this one. That's Jai Xiaoshuan coming all the way from the baseline for the putback to give the Ducks an early lead. Doesn't look like GUANGSHA are too interested in rebounding. And then Beijing went off for a few deep shots from downtown, opening things up on a 20-7 run. But things got a little better for the Lions, and newcomer Rodney White began to take the game into his own hands with a flurry of pretty drives and aggressive inside moves to take the home crowd out of it completely. But only momentarily. Beijing would come alive again in the fourth, with their leader Stephon Marbury attracting the attention and dishing it out to center Zhu Yangxi, which put the Ducks back up by 14. And that would be enough as the Ducks ran away with it, sweeping GUANGSHA 3-0. Beijing moves on to the second round, while GUANGSHA is eliminated, leaving import and star player PJ Ramos to look on. He did not have a good night, finishing with only 8 points. Over to Game 3 of the Guangdong FUJIAN series now, where Guangdong led 2-0 coming into this one, led by CBA All-Star and former Houston Rockets point guard Aaron Brooks and American James Singleton. This one started with a bang. That's Singleton with the putback in front of the home crowd, and their strong play leaked over into the second quarter, with Zhu Fangyu hitting back-to-back trays to put the Tigers ahead by double digits. Now I assure you, if there were any Fujian highlights to show in this one, we'd show them, but Guangdong ran away with this early on, with Brooks and Singleton hooking up several times. Now I'm not sure if these two realize that the All-Star game is already over. Anyway, Guangdong eventually ended the series with the 137-106 thumping, taking them to the second round. Shanghai and SHANXI continued their series in a close Game 4 this week, and a familiar face was in the stands watching as his Shanghai Sharks, that's Yao Ming by the way, attempted to stop Shaanxi's best player Marcus Williams, but the fans were behind him all the way. Shanghai did have Mike Harris doing his best to force a Game 5, with the Sharks down 2-1 before things got underway. But SHANXI were just too much for Shanghai to handle at home, finding ways to get to the line in a gritty game that had its fair share of controversy, and trust me, it wouldn't be the CBA playoffs if there wasn't any of that. But apparently there was some discussion over a missed call that the fans actually called instead of the refs. But it was all sorted out eventually as the Dragons celebrated their series win with their fans and their cheerleaders and mascot, which sort of looks like a reindeer to me. Anyway, lastly we've got DONGGUAN versus XINJIANG, which has so far been the closest series. We picked this one up in the first quarter of Game 4 with XINJIANG up 2-1 in the series. DONGGUAN, led by Josh Akinyon, who was on fire from behind the line in Game 1, showed no signs of slowing down here, although he did get a little bit of help from the glass there. But he'd continue to carry the Leopards here with the easy lay-in, and then later on in the quarter with the tough 2. But XINJIANG would keep it close. That is until the final moments when Leopards forward Shavlik Randolph hit a huge three-pointer, putting it up 94-92. And Randolph would strike again, this time inside after some pretty ball movement. He'd finish hard with the slam, putting the Leopards up by 7, and that would be the ball game as DONGGUAN forced a Game 5, which will finish up this week, and we'll have the results of that one for you on next week's show. That's it for the CBA playoff roundup. Next up, it's Aaron with Podium Finish.